Hello, I'm Lateesha, and I'm here to talk to you about Venus moving into the sign of Scorpio. And to do that, here is a song, a little bit of a song that for me it signifies so much of this energy of this transit. Goes like this. I put a spell on you because you are mine. But I did ba da 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 da. I put a spell on you because you are mine. Now, this song was written by Screamin' Jay Hawkins in 1956. And when I heard this song about a month ago, I was thinking about making this video about Venus moving into the sign of Scorpio. And this song, because I always associate songs with things that are going on in my life and everything. And this song right here is it personifies this movement. And when I saw this or heard this, I said, let me, even tonight, I said, let me just check and see. I know that Screaming Jay Hawkins must have had either a Scorpio moon or a Venus in Scorpio or some type of Pluto placement that would give him this depth, to write this type of song. And sure enough, he has Venus conjunct Pluto and the Sun conjunct Pluto. And the Pluto is sitting right in between Venus and the Sun for him in the sign of Cancer. So it's in water. So this is a person who is telling you what the intensity is of Venus in Scorpio. So Venus is going to move into the sign of Scorpio on September the 9th, and she will stay there until October 5th. And at that time, she will still be in Scorpio. She'll be at the 10-degree mark, and she will retrograde backwards. And she will stop her retrograde and go direct on November the 15th in the sign of Libra. So this is going to be a very intense time. If someone has Venus in their natal chart, this is a person who is so extremely intense when it comes to love, when it comes to falling in love. If they set their sights on someone, this is someone who will not give up no matter what. If they are being rejected, if the love is not being reciprocated, it does not matter. They will stay because Pluto, who is the ruler of Scorpio, is so intense. Mars is also the ancient ruler of Scorpio. Mars is this god of war, who will fight on no matter what, who will intently, keep going. Pluto is the lord of transformation and death, and brings in this energy of the phoenix rising from the ashes. You just will not die. So associated with Scorpio is compulsion and obsession and this relentless desire for a person. But with Scorpio there is pain that is involved. So with Venus and Scorpio natally, there's always this pain that is involved with this idea of being in love. Love hurts. It's desperate, it's seeking, it's got to sacrifice all for love, and that's this energy that comes along with that. So when Venus moves into Scorpio, this is a time where for all of us collectively, we will be feeling, this wanting of love, but not a shallow love, not the idea of the one night stand, hit it and quit it, but looking for this something that's real. Scorpio rules this idea of integrity, wants honesty, wants truth, wants what is real, not something that is fly by night or something that is disposable, but wants something that is going to last. Scorpio is a fixed sign. So when there is this decision about love, Scorpio wants it to last, forever. And but when Scorpio is done, Scorpio will do all that it can to make it last. But when Scorpio is done, it's done. It's letting it go. Although they will often stay long past the time they should. We're talking about Venus and Scorpio, long past the time that they should stay. But so collectively, we will all be exposed to this energy, but of course, in different areas of our charts, because when we all have Scorpio in our charts, but in different houses. So the houses of the Scorpio energy and where Venus will be for each of us will show a different area of life where this intensity will show up. So for all of us, this Venus herself represents diplomacy. She represents passion. She represents money. She represents what we desire, what we love. And this feminine, beautiful energy, she brings with her. So moving into the sign of Scorpio, she will be enveloped in the very depths and darkness that are associated with the energy that is Scorpio. So in that, we're talking about manipulation. We're talking about, again, obsession, compulsion, trying to control and manipulate things, manipulate people to work the way that we want them to work. Okay. And this is on the shadow side, the dark side of the Scorpion energy. If we are operating from the light, from the higher vibration of the Scorpio energy and Venus here, then we, are secure within ourselves, secure within our own power. We are empowered. Talking about Pluto's influence in Scorpio, we feel empowered in this area, empowered enough to allow things to happen, empowered enough to trust the universe is working for our good, and we are allowing people, places, and things and situations to take their course. We do what we can, but we let it go. We release the idea or the need to compulsively or obsessively control either relationships or opportunities or things that we want to see come into manifestation. When we see that it's not coming together, we can let it go. Now, this is when we are operating in the higher vibrations of the Scorpio energy. So when Venus transits, when she moves into the sign of Scorpio, she will, of course, be direct. And then once she goes retrograde, October 5th, this, brings an opportunity, depending on the area, the house that it falls in for either person. It will bring an opportunity for us to review what it is in that area that we love, what we feel love for, what we feel passion about, and ask ourselves, is it working? Is it for me? Do I feel good about it? And am I receiving love back? Is it reciprocal or not? So these are areas that we will be able to review during the retrograde of Venus. Venus will also move back into the sign of Libra. Again, going back to 25 degrees of Libra. So, she already finished up her move through Libra. And so we will be able to go back and review again those areas where we have Libra in our charts. We'll be able to review these areas if we have any planets between the 30th and 25th degree of Libra. When she retrogrades back, then those planets will be affected. If in Scorpio, if we have any planets in the sign of Scorpio, then Venus will be in contact with those planets between now and the time she leaves Scorpio. But as she is making her move into the retrograde status, and if she flows back, because she'll be retrograde from 10 degrees to 1 degree of Scorpio. We're just talking about Scorpio right now. If you have any planets in those degrees or 5 degrees before or after the 10-degree mark, then for sure you will be affected by this transit, more strongly. Everybody's going to be affected, but if you have personal planets, Sun, Moon, Mars, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, natally between the 1st and the 15 degrees of Scorpio, while she is in Scorpio, this will really be affecting you in a very powerful way. If you have any planets in Libra, personal planets between 20 degrees and 30 degrees, you will be affected very greatly by this retrograde. And Venus, again, will be asking us, when she's in Libra, she's asking us to review partnerships. She's asking us to review how we are balancing our care for other people with the care for ourselves. While she is in Scorpio in a retrograde status, she is asking us to review what it is that we call truth, what it is that we call integrity in relationships and partnerships. Are people being honest with us? Is the relationship where we want it to be? Is there depth? Is there honesty? Is it real? Is the other person committed or not? Is there a soul connection or not? And if not, is it what you want? Is it what you need? Is it working? Are you able to be honest with yourself within the relationship or the job or the career path or the study? If you are, working on your higher education, you have a major at the university. Is this true to you? That's the question with Venus in Scorpio. That's the question. And so if we find that we are being manipulative, if we are killing ourselves to try to make it happen, during this time, because Venus and Scorpio will bring up this desire to control and manipulate and possess. And if we are finding that this is happening, then we for sure need to leave it. We need to leave it because it's not wholesome, it's not good, and the end result will not be what we want it to be. And it will ultimately bring pain. It will ultimately bring the thing that we don't want. So let's just keep that in mind during this transit. Take a look at your chart. Find out where you have Scorpio, what house you have Scorpio. And this will let you know the area of life that you will be affected. And so I'm just going to talk about that really very briefly. If you are Aries rising, sun or moon, and you will be affected by Venus in your 8th house. And this is the house of resources. So if you are waiting on a grant, if you are waiting on a loan, and you are going through the retrograde of Venus, then this is an area where you might go through not being able to receive the funds. There may be a holdup on the funds for you because Venus rules money. The 8th house, of course, has to do with resources. When Venus is forward, when she first moves into your 8th house, this can be an increase of sex for you. Where you want to go very deep with sex, where you feel like, tantric sex could even be possible during this time with the being in Scorpio, where you are just feeling like you and your partner are definitely one, where you are climaxing together, just having an unbelievable time as it relates to sex. Okay. And then if you are, that's Aries, Taurus, Taurus rising, Taurus sun, Taurus moon. This will be affecting you in your seventh house of partnership. So if you are with your spouse or your partner that you are committed with, Venus moving into your seventh house, you have this time where you are asking the questions with your partner, able to see things more clearly, able to go deep with them emotionally. And then once she goes retrograde, you are asking the question about, is the relationship working? This is business partnerships and love relationships, love partnerships, where you've made a commitment and you're asking, is it working? Or is it not working? And being honest. And sometimes, when Venus is retrograde in the seventh house, it could lead to divorce. It could lead to a separation that has already been kind of started anyway, and then Venus could come along and put the nail in the coffin. But if you are someone who, if you haven't already started this, when Venus does go retrograde, it's not really a good time to initiate divorce or separation or anything like that, because once she goes direct, then you might change your mind. So you might want to just wait on that. Same with getting married. When Venus is retrograde, it's not really the best time to get married, because once she goes direct, then the energy is flip-flop for the marriage. So if you have a Gemini, Sun, Moon, or rising, Venus will be moving into your sixth house of your daily activities, your health, your work activities. So with this, you want to know that energies will be better for you as far as what you want to do daily. Your everyday activities, your work may be better. People on the job may like you better. You may find that things are more wholesome. You may have a good report at the doctors. You may be feeling better physically. So these are things that can come up for you with this particular transit. Also, if you are on a job, you're finding that you love it. When Venus goes retrograde, however, you may be thinking about, is it really working for me? And then you are able to see things more clearly and honestly and deeply. You're able to see the people that you are working with and working around, and honestly able to look at them and see, are they really for me? Are they really on my side? Do they want me to excel? And these are the things that you can see during this particular transit. Okay, if you have a Cancer rising, Cancer sun, or Cancer moon, then Venus will be moving into your fifth house of relationships, of new relationships, falling in love, of your children. And so it's a beautiful time if you want to start a business, or something beautiful and wonderful can be happening with your children. Your love for your children could be increasing, feeling them wanting to be around you more. If you are looking to meet someone new, when Venus moves into this area, this is a beautiful time for you to meet someone and to ask the question, is this something, do you want something real? Do you want something that's long lasting? And then when Venus goes retrograde here, then, at this time you may want to, you may be able to see things more clearly with the relationship. You don't want to start a new relationship when Venus goes retrograde. But if you are already dating someone, This is a time to reevaluate the relationship and see what it really is. And you'll be able to see, because Scorpio gives a type of deep insight as a deep water sign that it is. And then if you have um, Leo sun, Leo moon, Leo rising, then this will be Venus will be moving into your fourth house of home, your family of origin, your your inner self, which is really your true home, the home of your body. And so your mother, relationships with your mother could just really improve with Venus moving into your fourth house. You know, you may just feel so much love for your mom and may want to spend more time with her. When Venus goes retrograde, it may be a time for you to look at some things as it relates to your family of origin and how challenges that may have been there with your family or even with your mom. And this is a time where you can talk about these issues. Issues may come up of feeling loved by your mom or loved by your family, and you're able to question these things. And when Venus goes forward, you may have resolution to what was going on during the retrograde time. Things even from childhood could come to the fore during the retrograde. Things that have made you say, you know, that you are unloved or felt unloved could be revealed, could come to the forefront and able to deal with, and you can see them more clearly. See clearly even what mama might have been going through as to why she could not give you the love that you thought that you should have had. Okay. If you are a Virgo sun, Virgo moon, Virgo rising, then we have Venus moving into your third house of communications, your relationship with your siblings, younger siblings. This is the house that also rules community, close friends, neighbors, cousins. So this Venus coming here, you could be having a wonderful time when she first moves into Scorpio, having an awesome time and just enjoying each other, realizing how much you love each other, how well you get along, you know, and so forth. And then when Venus goes retrograde, you know, this is a time where you may realize, you know, or come to conversation about some jealousy or some enmity that you may have had with your siblings or close friends, cousins, neighbors, and it may come to the fore. You know, things like that do happen. But it's a time where you can talk about it, get it out on the table, and then get a resolution for it when Venus goes direct. And then if you are a Libra sun, Libra moon, Libra rising, then you will have Venus moving into your second house of your self-esteem, of your income, earned income. And so with Venus moving here, you could find that you receive an increase in your income because Venus does rule the money, self-esteem, feeling great, feeling wonderful about who you are and having a beautiful place of self-acceptance. And then when Venus goes retrograde, you may review things that have made you feel or question your self-worth or question things that the income that you are earning, and is it enough, and do you feel valuable doing what it is that you are doing, how you are earning money, or is it really something that you have outgrown and you need to let go and you need to upgrade, up level. And then if you are Scorpio sun, moon, or rising, you have, of course, Scorpio moving into Venus moving into your sign. And so with that, you are feeling loved, you are feeling beautiful, people are attracted to you and drawn to you. You know, whenever you have Venus coming into your sign, and people are just automatically drawn to you, and it's very beautiful. You are shining, and it's wonderful. And then when Venus goes retrograde, you are questioning really what love means to you. Have you been receiving love? Is it what you need? Is somebody trying to control you? Somebody trying to manipulate you? And you are asking the question, do I want that in the name of love, or do I want real freedom and real love that accepts me and just like I am, and is grounded in a place of truth and honor and integrity? And you find your answers and you're able to move forward when Venus goes direct. And then we have Venus moving into the sign, and then when we have Sagittarius, we have Venus moving into your 12th house of your subconscious, or your fears that you may have had, spiritual beliefs, your understanding of who God is, or how you see God and see the collective. And so with Venus moving in here, you have an acceptance. You feel good about your spirituality, your spiritual beliefs. This is a very quiet place. The 12th house is a very quiet place, a very deep place. And so when Venus goes retrograde, it could bring up an opportunity for you to question fears that you have had, and fears maybe about spirituality, fears of letting go of beliefs and traditions that no longer work for you. And of course, when Venus goes direct, then you're able to have some truth in this area and walk in the truth. You can find the truth when she goes retrograde, and then move forward with that truth when she goes forward. And then if you are Capricorn, you have Venus moving into the area of part of networks, social networks and groups that you are a part of. This is an opportunity for you to receive accolades and celebrations about what you have accomplished. If you are a part of a group, you are feeling wonderful and feeling love for those people who are in your group. And then when Venus goes retrograde, it could be a time for you to question, are you being treated fairly? Are you receiving the love that you are giving out with the network groups that you are a part of, fraternities, sororities? You're asking, does it make you feel good to be a part of this group? And are they being honest with you? Are these people of integrity? And you're asking, do you need to make a change in this area? Okay, and then for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, we have Venus moving into your 10th house of your career, your social status in the world, your reputation in the world, how other people see you. So for you, Venus is shining on your career area. People are seeing you in a great light. People are wanting to promote you. People are wanting to help you, help see you go up, help see you create more by way of your career. Your reputation is in a good standing at this point. And when Venus goes retrograde, then you are asking yourself, does this career fit me? Is this the right place? Am I valued in this career? Is this the right career path for me? Am I doing what other people think I should be doing? Or am I doing what my soul wants to do? Am I doing what I came here to do, what I incarnated to do? These are the questions that could come up. And for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising, then Venus is going into your 9th house. The 9th house has to do with long distance travel, legal issues. It has to do with higher education, whether you're getting your master's degree or your bachelor's, PhD. Venus going into this area can highlight if you have legal issues that need to be resolved. Venus coming in here can help those issues come to a resolve and bring a blessing for you. Okay, Venus is a beneficent planet. And higher education, it can help you to finish up that degree. When Venus goes retrograde, you could find yourself asking, are you the plans that you had to move long distance? Is this the right place, or should I wait? For sure, you should wait and not do that move while the Venus is retrograde. It might not be the best, especially if you have Venus in the 9th house. Of course, that's depending on what other planets are being impacted or aspected during the retrograde, but just as a general rule, it might not be the best time. But you have to go with your own intuition. Always trust your own intuition because everybody's chart is different. But these are just general rules, okay? And if you are on a degree plan, Venus going retrograde in the ninth house, Pisces, could have you questioning if you should change course, change your major. Is this the right thing for you to do? And you'll get your answer during the retrograde, and you'll be able to move forward in the right way when Venus goes direct. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed Venus transit. Again, if you are trying to make something happen, if you're trying to manipulate and make something be, with all of your strength and might, you're going to force it to be, let it go. The end result is always some kind of darkness. It's always something mutated that you don't really want when you do that. And I'm talking from the Scorpio energy that I have. I have a moon in Scorpio. So I have learned it's just best to allow the universe to bring you the things that you need without you trying to make it happen. Okay. Thank you again. I'm Lateesha. If I didn't say my name at the beginning, that's who I am. And I thank you so much for watching. And have a great transit. Bye-bye.